These 7 overlooked herbs have been shown to support skin firmness, soften fine lines, and help the body rebuild collagen from the inside, especially after menopause when skin no longer responds the way it once did. But what surprises most women is that one of these herbs, often ignored in everyday kitchens and supplement shelves, supports skin structure in a way that few anti-aging routines ever address, and that's where real firmness begins. I'm Dr. Eliza Hart, a board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist with over 15 years of experience in women's health and hormonal wellness. And today, I want to walk you through 7 specific herbs that have been consistently studied and traditionally used to support skin firmness, collagen integrity, and structural resilience from within, particularly for women after menopause. Each of these herbs works in a slightly different way, some by improving circulation, others by supporting collagen structure, reducing internal stress, or providing the nutrients skin needs to maintain its shape over time, which is why they are far more effective together than when viewed in isolation. If this approach to skin health feels different from what you've been told before, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and please comment with the name of the country you're watching from, so I can see how this message is reaching women around the world. Be sure to watch until the end because I have a small surprise related to how these herbs can be used safely and effectively together. And now let's begin with the first herb and why it plays such an important role in supporting skin firmness after menopause. 1. Gotu kola, microcirculation and collagen fiber support. For many women after menopause, the first place skin begins to lose its firmness is not the surface, but the deeper support beneath the jawline and neck, where circulation quietly slows and collagen fibers receive fewer signals to stay strong. From a medical perspective, this change is closely tied to reduced microcirculation, meaning the smallest blood vessels that deliver oxygen, amino acids, and micronutrients to the skin are no longer working at full efficiency. When this supply weakens, fibroblasts receive inconsistent stimulation, collagen turnover slows, and the skin gradually loses its ability to resist gravity. Gotu kola has been extensively studied for its ability to support connective tissue integrity and microvascular function, which makes it particularly relevant for postmenopausal skin. By improving blood flow at the capillary level, this herb helps restore a more stable delivery of nutrients and signaling molecules that collagen fibers depend on to remain organized and resilient. In clinical terms, this means the skin is not being forced to tighten from the outside, but is instead given the internal conditions needed to maintain firmness in a way that adapts to hormonal change rather than fighting against it. In practice, Gotu kola can be used in several gentle and effective ways. As a tea, 1 teaspoon of dried Gotu kola leaves can be steeped in hot water for 5 to 7 minutes and consumed once daily, ideally in the morning, when circulation naturally begins to rise. For women who prefer supplements, standardized capsules in the range of 300 to 500 milligrams per day are commonly used and generally well tolerated. Powdered Gotu kola can also be added to smoothies or yogurt, with half a teaspoon being a reasonable daily amount for consistent support. Results are typically noticed after 4 to 6 weeks of regular use as microcirculation improves and collagen fibers become better nourished and more structurally stable. Many women also report that the skin feels less fragile and more supported when touched, which reflects improved tissue quality rather than surface tightness. This foundational support creates a biological environment where the skin can respond more effectively to additional forms of collagen reinforcement, which becomes increasingly important as we move beyond circulation alone and begin addressing deeper structural needs in the sections ahead. 2. Horsetail, silica, and the hidden framework of collagen. When skin begins to look thinner rather than just looser, and fine lines seem to appear even in areas that were never expressive, it often signals a deeper structural issue that many women overlook after menopause. At this stage, the problem is not only how much collagen the body produces, but whether the collagen that remains still has the internal framework needed to stay strong and flexible. This is where horsetail becomes uniquely important. From a medical standpoint, horsetail is one of the richest natural sources of silica, a trace mineral that plays a critical role in maintaining collagen architecture. Silica acts like a stabilizing element within connective tissue, helping collagen fibers bind together in an organized, resilient matrix. As estrogen levels decline, silica absorption and utilization tend to decrease, which contributes to skin that feels fragile, crepey, and less able to hold tension even when collagen production has not completely stopped. By supporting silica availability, horsetail helps reinforce the internal scaffold that collagen relies on to maintain thickness and elasticity. Clinically, this can translate into skin that feels denser and more resilient to movement, particularly in areas such as the neck, lower face, and upper arms, where thinning often becomes noticeable before sagging fully develops. This structural support is subtle, but it plays a critical role in how well the skin tolerates ongoing hormonal change. In practical use, horsetail can be incorporated gently and effectively, as a 1 teaspoon of dried horsetail can be steeped in hot water for 10 minutes and consumed once daily, preferably in the afternoon. Standardized capsules in the range of 440 to 500 milligrams per day are also commonly used, especially for women who prefer consistency without preparation. For those who enjoy cooking simmering dried horsetail in soups for 10 to 15 minutes and removing the plant before drinking the broth can extract silica efficiently. With consistent use over 4 to 6 weeks, many women notice that the skin feels less delicate and better supported overall. This improved structural stability creates the conditions needed for collagen to respond more effectively to other forms of support, which becomes especially important as we move beyond structure and begin addressing the factors that quietly weaken collagen over time. 3. Turmeric, inflammation control and fibroblast protection. There is a moment many women describe after menopause when the skin does not necessarily sag more, but begins to look softer, puffier, and less defined, as if its internal tension has quietly dissolved. This change is often misunderstood as a purely cosmetic issue, yet clinically it is frequently driven by low-grade persistent inflammation that interferes with how collagen is maintained. When inflammation remains active beneath the surface, even well-formed collagen fibers are gradually weakened, and this is where turmeric becomes especially relevant. From a medical perspective, chronic inflammation places continuous stress on fibroblasts, the cells responsible for maintaining collagen strength and organization. After menopause, hormonal shifts tend to amplify inflammatory signaling, which accelerates collagen breakdown and reduces the skin's ability to repair itself efficiently. Turmeric, through its active compounds, supports the regulation of inflammatory pathways, helping to protect fibroblasts from constant biochemical stress. When this internal environment becomes calmer, collagen fibers are better preserved and the skin regains a more stable, supported appearance rather than appearing swollen or lax. What makes turmeric particularly valuable is that it does not act on the skin directly, but instead reduces the internal pressure that quietly erodes collagen over time. Clinically, women often notice that skin texture appears more even, facial contours look clearer, and areas prone to puffiness such as the lower face and neck feel less heavy as inflammation is brought under control. This effect develops gradually, reflecting improved cellular conditions rather than a temporary tightening sensation. In practical use, turmeric can be incorporated safely and consistently in several ways. One common approach is a warm evening drink, often called golden milk, made by adding half a teaspoon of turmeric powder to warm milk, or a plant-based alternative, along with a small pinch of black pepper to improve absorption. For those who prefer supplement, standardized curcumin capsules that include black pepper extract are typically taken once daily with food. Turmeric can also be added to meals throughout the day, with a 1/4 teaspoon used in soups, vegetables, or eggs, providing steady, gentle support. With regular use over 4 to 6 weeks, many women experience skin that appears calmer, firmer, and more resilient. Once inflammation is better controlled, the skin becomes far more responsive to other forms of collagen support, which leads naturally into the next factor that determines how well firmness is maintained over time. 4. Rosemary, circulation fluid, balance and skin tone definition. Some changes in skin firmness do not come from collagen loss alone, but from a slower internal flow that allows fluid to linger where it should not, softening contours and blurring definition over time. Many women notice this most clearly along the jawline or under the chin, where the skin appears heavier or less defined even when weight has not changed. Clinically, this often points to reduced circulation combined with subtle fluid retention, and rosemary addresses this issue in a way that is both gentle and surprisingly effective. From a medical standpoint, rosemary supports healthy blood flow and vascular tone, helping the body move oxygen and nutrients more efficiently through the tissues that support the skin. When circulation improves, cellular waste is cleared more effectively, and excess fluid is less likely to accumulate in areas that contribute to puffiness and loss of contour. Rosemary also contains compounds that help protect existing collagen fibers from oxidative stress, which becomes increasingly important after menopause when the skin's natural defense systems tend to slow down. As circulation and fluid balance improve, the skin often begins to look more defined rather than simply tighter. Clinically, women may notice clearer facial contours, reduced heaviness around the lower face, and a more refreshed appearance in the neck area. This shift reflects better tissue tone and internal movement, not a forced cosmetic change, and it plays a critical role in how firmness is perceived over time. In practical use, rosemary is easy to incorporate into daily routines. As a T1 fresh sprig or 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary can be steeped in hot water for 10 minutes and consumed once daily. Rosemary can also be added to meals in small amounts, particularly with roasted vegetables, poultry, or soups, where it provides both flavor and functional support. Another gentle option is rosemary water, made by placing several sprigs in a pitcher of water and allowing it to infuse overnight, then sipping throughout the day for steady circulation support. If you're listening and thinking, yes, this feels familiar, comment 1 if you've noticed puffiness or loss of definition after menopause, or 0 if this has not been an issue for you, so I can better understand what women are experiencing. As circulation becomes more balanced, the skin is better prepared to handle another quiet but powerful factor that influences firmness from within. 5. Ashwagandha, cortisol, balance and collagen preservation. There is a certain quality to skin that looks tired rather than aged, where elasticity seems to fade unevenly, and the face carries a subtle tension that no cream can smooth away. In many cases, this is not a problem of collagen supply, but of collagen being quietly consumed by chronic stress. After menopause, the body's ability to buffer stress hormones changes, and when cortisol remains elevated for long periods, collagen breakdown accelerates in ways that are easy to miss but difficult to reverse. Medically, cortisol has a direct impact on skin integrity. Persistently high levels interfere with fibroblast activity, reduce collagen synthesis, and weaken the bonds that keep skin firm and resilient. Over time, this hormonal stress response contributes to thinner skin, reduced elasticity, and a dull, fatigued appearance, particularly around the eyes, mouth, and neck. Ashwagandha is known for its role in supporting the body's stress response, helping regulate cortisol levels so that collagen preservation can occur more efficiently. When cortisol is better controlled, the internal environment that supports collagen becomes far more stable. Clinically, women often notice that skin texture looks smoother, fine lines appear less pronounced, and the skin feels less fragile overall. This is not because ashwagandha directly tightens the skin, but because it reduces one of the most powerful internal forces that quietly erodes collagen after menopause. Improved sleep quality and calmer energy levels are often early signs that this balance is being restored. In practical terms, ashwagandha is best used in ways that align with the body's natural rhythm. Standardized capsules in the range of 300 to 500 milligrams are commonly taken once daily, often in the evening, to support relaxation and overnight recovery. For those who prefer powders, half a teaspoon can be blended into a smoothie, warm milk, or yogurt, creating a gentle nightly ritual that supports stress regulation and tissue repair. With consistent use over several weeks, many women experience not only calmer skin, but a stronger foundation for collagen preservation. Once stress hormones are no longer quietly draining the skin's reserves, the body becomes far more receptive to deeper renewal processes, which naturally leads us into the next layer of support. 6. Guggle, skin renewal signals and metabolic support. Not all skin changes after menopause happen because collagen is breaking down. Some occur because the body becomes slower at repairing what is already there. When renewal signals weaken, skin may appear dull, less responsive, and slower to recover its firmness, even when circulation and stress are reasonably well managed. This often shows up as a softening around the mouth or a crepey texture along the neck where the skin seems to lag behind the body's recovery processes. And this is where Guggle plays a distinct role. From a medical standpoint, Guggle is valued for its ability to support metabolic activity and tissue renewal, both of which are essential for maintaining skin integrity after menopause. As hormonal changes alter how efficiently cells communicate and regenerate, repair signals that once kept collagen organized begin to slow. Compounds within Guggle help reinforce these renewal pathways, encouraging the body to maintain a steadier rhythm of tissue repair rather than allowing gradual structural fatigue to set in. Clinically, this type of support often translates into skin that feels more responsive and less stagnant. Women may notice that areas prone to sagging regain subtle firmness, and that the skin's texture appears more cohesive rather than uneven or slack. This reflects improved cellular turnover and internal balance as the skin adapts to lower estrogen levels and slower metabolic signaling. In practical use, Guggle can be incorporated in a straightforward and measured way. Standardized capsules are commonly taken in amounts ranging from 250 to 500 milligrams once daily, preferably with food to support absorption. For those who prefer traditional preparations, a small amount of Guggle resin can be gently simmered in hot water for several minutes and strained before drinking, though its warm, resinous taste may take some adjustment. Powdered forms can also be mixed into warm beverages or smoothies, with a quarter teaspoon being sufficient for daily use. With consistent use over several weeks, many women notice that the skin feels less sluggish and more capable of maintaining firmness between cycles of change. As renewal signals become more stable, the skin becomes increasingly receptive to the final layer of support, which focuses on providing the essential nutrients collagen depends on to remain strong and adaptable. 7. Moringa, nutrient density, and the collagen support matrix. When skin loses firmness in multiple areas at once, such as the neck, upper arms, and lower face, it often reflects a deeper issue than circulation or stress alone, and instead points to a gradual depletion of the nutrients collagen relies on to stay strong. After menopause, the body's ability to absorb and utilize key vitamins, minerals, and amino acids becomes less efficient, which means collagen may still be present but no longer adequately supported. This is where Moringa offers a uniquely comprehensive form of reinforcement. From a medical perspective, collagen integrity depends on more than a single nutrient or pathway. It requires a steady supply of vitamin C for collagen maintenance, amino acids for structural repair, and minerals such as calcium and magnesium to support tissue stability. Moringa is notable because it naturally provides many of these elements together in a highly bioavailable form. Rather than stimulating collagen aggressively, it helps rebuild the nutritional environment that allows collagen fibers to remain resilient and adaptable over time, especially in skin that has become more vulnerable after hormonal transition. Clinically, women who incorporate Moringa often describe skin that feels stronger and less fragile, particularly in areas that tend to thin or crease easily. The texture of the skin may appear more even, and the sense of looseness that comes from weakened tissue support can gradually diminish. These changes are subtle and progressive, reflecting improved internal nourishment rather than surface-level tightening, which is exactly the kind of support aging skin responds to most consistently. In practical use, moringa is one of the most flexible herbs to incorporate into a daily routine. As a powder, half a teaspoon can be blended into smoothies, yogurt, or juice once per day without significantly altering taste. Capsules are also commonly used with typical amounts ranging from 500 to 1,000 milligrams daily, depending on individual tolerance. For those who prefer warm preparations, dried moringa leaves can be steeped as a tea for 7 to 10 minutes, creating a gentle, nutrient-rich infusion that is easy to maintain over time. With regular use over several weeks, many women notice that their skin appears better supported across multiple areas, not just in one isolated spot. Once this nutritional foundation is in place, the final step is understanding how to combine and use these herbs thoughtfully so their benefits work together rather than competing with one another. 8. How to use these herbs safely and effectively after 50. By this point, it becomes clear that skin firmness after menopause is not supported by a single solution, but by how multiple biological systems are guided to work together, which makes the way these herbs are used just as important as which ones are chosen. Many women assume that taking everything at once will speed results, yet medically, this often creates unnecessary strain and reduces consistency, which is the real driver of change. From a clinical perspective, the goal is to align herbal support with the body's natural rhythm. In the morning, when circulation and metabolic signaling begin to rise, herbs that support blood flow and collagen structure tend to be better tolerated, making gotu kola or turmeric suitable early in the day. During the afternoon, when fluid balance and tissue tone matter most, rosemary or horsetail can be introduced to support circulation and structural stability without overstimulation. In the evening, when repair and recovery dominate, ashwagandha fits naturally into the body's winding down phase, helping protect collagen overnight by calming stress signals. Guggul and moringa are best viewed as flexible supports rather than daily requirements. They can be rotated several times per week to reinforce renewal signals and nutritional foundations without overwhelming digestion or metabolism. This rotation approach allows the skin to receive layered support while keeping the routine realistic and sustainable. Safety matters just as much as effectiveness. Women with thyroid conditions, kidney concerns, or those taking long-term medications should consult a qualified healthcare professional before introducing new herbs. These herbs are intended to support biological balance, not replace medical care or prescribed treatment. When used consistently and thoughtfully over 4 to 6 weeks, many women begin to notice skin that feels more stable, resilient, and supported from within. With this foundation in place, it becomes easier to recognize that firmness after 50 is not about forcing results, but about guiding the body back into a state where renewal can occur naturally. When we look at skin changes after menopause through a medical lens, it becomes clear that firmness is not lost overnight, and it is not restored by a single product or habit. It is shaped by circulation, inflammation, stress, balance, renewal signals, and nutrient support working together over time. The herbs we discussed today matter not because they promise quick tightening, but because they help guide the body back toward biological conditions where collagen can remain resilient and supported from within. My advice is to start simply. Choose 1 or 2 herbs that match your current needs, use them consistently for several weeks, and allow your body the time it needs to respond. Aging skin does not need force. It needs steady, informed support. If you found this video helpful and would like to support the continued creation of evidence-based women's health content, a small donation, if you're able, truly helps this channel grow and reach more women who need this information. And of course, please like this video, share it with someone who may benefit, subscribe to the channel for future guidance, and thank you for spending this time with me today.